And good morning, everyone. This is Brian with Strategic Trading Service, and we are here early in the morning. It is 5:46 a.m. on the date of June 4th, 2018. And guys, we and ladies, we are here, and we're going to do a little multitasking right here. We have an actual live trade working, or just a straight naked trade for the dollar Swiss franc pair. We have that working. And I want you to notice something. I do a simple thing that a lot of traders I see don't do. And this simple little thing will save you a lot of heartache and a lot of pain if you are trading straight naked Forex. And if you look, you'll see where my entry level is at 40, and this is 98.45 is my entry level. And at 98.45.1, I have my stop loss. Yeah, and I'm only at 98.47 right now. I know it's only 2 pips away, but so what? If price comes back down and it closes out at where I came in, no harm, no foul. I have not lost a dime, and I've even made back my spread. Okay, so I have lost nothing by closing out exactly where we cover our spread. So I'm good there. And if price goes on, well, that stop loss moves with it. When you cross that barrier, there is no reason to leave your stop loss 25 pips behind you. That's just taking a risk that you don't have to take. But that's me. That's a personal preference. That's how I continue to stay profitable and stay in the trading game for going on 9 years now. That's one of the tricks I use. So take it, leave it if you want, but that's a personal thing I do. Now, for you guys that are in the group right now, and for others, I want you all to look at on the bottom screen here. We were talking this weekend about a group plan and how we would work together as a group or individuals. We already know as individuals what we have to offer, but I broke down 3 of the main services that we have, and here's a quick rundown on how we would do them as a group. So with our group investment plans, guys, we're looking at, okay, the first thing that we have is our basic insurance. Now, if you're taking trading insurance, it is for an individual. It is $500 startup, which is our basic core. It is $250 for working capital, $250 for the insurance premium. Okay, and you get 1 to 2 trades a day, and it's $20 to $50 per trade profit if we're successful, which you're going to be successful anyway. It has to be with insurance. And that 250 premium covers 20 trades, okay, and it's payable about 24 hours after, no more than 24 hours after. And hold on, guys, here. That's my daughter, guys. Let me take this call. Okay, I'm back, guys. Thank you. It's my daughter's birthday today. Had to talk with her real quick. Now, I'm going to get back to the program, but I want to go back to the trade for a minute. Now, we stopped out. We got a little profit on that, and now we've actually switched directions on our trade, and we're going to be selling now on this. We're still a little scalping up top, but the general consensus for my trade is this, and I want to go into longer time frames. Now, what you're looking at is a weekly chart. Now, a lot of times when we go into a trade, we're looking at the 15-minute, the 1 hour chart, sometimes the 4 hour chart. But do you really go back and look at the larger time frames, the 1 week, the 1 month time frame, even bigger than that sometimes? Here's a general rule of thumb. Larger time frames will dominate smaller time frames when it comes to trade positions. Now, is that always the case? No, it's not always the case that this will happen. If that was the situation, then everyone could trade, okay? But as a general rule of thumb, that is the case. So now we're looking on a weekly chart, and we're clear to see that for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 weeks, the dollar has lost against the Swiss franc. And you also can see clearly that we are at the top of a long-term pattern of consolidation here of basically weekly. We've been in a range going back since 2015. In fact, this big long drop right here is when you see always at the back, this big long drop, that is the night that I made $13,000. This is my $13,000 trade right here. I caught at the very bottom of this trade and I rode it all the way back up at $10 a pip. I was lucky that night because I turned on and I saw this drop happen. This is the biggest currency move in the history of recorded financial currency movements. This is the biggest move that has ever been made in a financial currency pair. And I was one of the recipients of that. This move also cost FXCM their business. This move also cost hundreds of millions of dollars in lost revenue overnight. This move changed the way that currency markets are regulated and operated, and the fallout is still being felt today. But this move shows you how far along we are, how far we've made it. Now, we made this move down and it's back up. This was in a matter of 10 minutes tops that this whole thing happened. Now, fast forward 3 years, okay? We are still at the top of that range, and price has more ground beneath it than it does above it. And that's usually the case all the way through here. So now we're sitting right back at this same spot. And if you move in, you'll see that we're about to touch the bottom signal of the parabolic stop and reverse, and those are the dots. Now, if you look at the indicators, that tells you once you touch one of these, all right, the last one from the previous direction, that is a signal to go in the opposite direction. So now we're about to touch this one. So then that signifies that we're going to have more downward pressure. The blue arrows that you see at the top of the previous candles, about 5 candles up top, that blue arrow, that is a fractal. Now, if you don't know what fractals are, I suggest you look them up. Fractals are one of the most important trading indicators in the world. I mean, they were created by a genius. His name is Bill Williams. I did a report on him. He's one of the greatest minds ever. And he invented this. It's called fractal. So look that up and on your own time, and you'll be very happy that you did. But all these indicators, which are lagging indicators, by the way, they don't tell you the truth. They don't tell you the future, but they tell you what has happened, and you can look at what has happened, and you can extrapolate as to what should happen next if all things remain equal. So here we are. And also you look down at the bottom part of the screen, you'll see my other indicator that I use. This is, once again, another Bill Williams indicator. This is the Bill Williams percent range. Some people say it's an RSI, which is a relative strength indicator. No, this is not an RSI. This is a Williams percent indicator. It operates similar to an RSI, where you can tell the overbought and the oversold. But here you can clearly see that each time price touches above the 20 level or below the 80 level, it does revert, because price, like everything else in nature, wants to have a medium. It wants to have a balance. All things in nature look for balance. And this indicates where something is out of balance and by how much compared to what is the medium, what is the means. So now you can see we're on that downward trek on a weekly position. So if this is the case on a weekly position, if we switch and we look at a daily, which we shall, the daily position also shows that we are in that same downward pressure, and we've been in that for some time. Now, the daily shows that we might have a little chop on the upside a little bit, but we're still continuing that pressure on the downward slope. As you can see, we are a couple of days into this, but we have a long way to go if we were to look to cover this entire last daily up run. If we were to make a complete reversion, we traveled up for many days. This is well over 2 or 3 months. So now we should make that trip down if you believe in the full reversion. On a daily chart, technically, you can see that we're at the top of the range and we have much more ground beneath us than we do above. So that trip downward should also fit the bill. Now, since that's a daily chart, let's move in a little bit, look at a 4-hour chart. Now, for me, the 4-hour chart, here's where we tell the tale. Now we're looking at continued pressure all the way in, and you can see that once again, even on a 4-hour chart, so on a weekly, a daily, a 4-hour chart, everything is pushing on the downward slope. So right now, even on an hourly, here we go. Now on an hourly chart, we're a little bit up. Okay, that's not a lot. No problem on that. And you can see here that we made a nice run up here some hours before, but then the downward pressure keeps the price in the lower price range. What this tells you is this is the not indecision, but this is the actual manipulation of the market by traders, by speculators, buying and selling, pressure to catch that. They want to raise the price up so that they can catch those big, long drops. Now, this isn't manipulation as something illegal or illicit or whatever, but this is trading. This is the market being controlled by people who want to profit. Okay. Now, as derivatives traders, we do not have the direct access to move that market. We have access to profit from it. Okay. Because you have to understand, once again, when it comes to trading, how your brokers work and how the brokerages operate. You get pricing from them, but they get their liquidity direct from the market. Unless you have direct market access, you only get the prices quoted by your broker, which does not necessarily reflect the prices that they got. Okay, so they basically resell you the price that they bought so that they make a profit off of what they're doing to you. So if you got it for 15, they paid 10. Okay, and they sold it to you for 15, and that's how that works. And that is legal, and just like everything else. So, but you have to understand the game that you're playing and how it goes. Now, this is when we're talking straight naked trading. And that's one of the reasons why we have multi-platform insurance trading as our main vehicle to make money. And we'll get back to that real quick right now, actually. And we will get back to what we were talking about earlier, which is, here we go, our basic insurance package. Now, to protect yourselves against any of those crazy features that we just saw and everything, we use two forms of trading, as you all know. We use options and we use Forex. We just got to explaining how basically that works. But back to our plan. Now we have $500 to start up, $250 on both sides, 1 to 2 trades a day. You're going to make about $20 to $50 per trade, and you have less than 24 hours that you're going to get your money if you have an insurance claim that you're going to make off of that. We pay almost instantly, really, on that. Now, there are two things you need to remember, actually. $500 is exactly the same ratio as 5,000, 50,000, 500,000. Doesn't matter. If you have $500, we are looking to make around $750 a month in profits from that investment. $5,000, we're looking to make around $7,500 a month from that investment. 50,000, we are looking to make around $75,000 a month from that investment. It does not matter because this is only an increase in contracts and in leverage. That's all that is. And math tells you that 1, 10, 100, just a matter of zeros. And that's what we have here. So as a group right now, you guys can profit from this in two ways. You can each individually have your own individual basic insurance account, as we have been doing, as you guys have been profiting from. But for some of you who don't quite have the necessary capital to start that right now, for whatever reason, come together as a group of investors. 1, 2, 10, it doesn't matter. However many you are. We put together a group of $500. Say we have 10 people. Everyone puts in $50. You now have a $500 insurance package. We'll go ahead. We'll get the thing together for everyone. We'll do it in-house for you guys. And then we can monitor the trades as we're doing now. And everyone will have a chance to see what that trade is doing at 10% of the risk that you all will have to take by yourself, which really isn't a risk because, like I say, insurance trading, one side or the other is going to pay. So the risk is zero when it comes to this. But now you have the capital needed broken down into 10 people instead of one, or it can be 2 or 5. Now, what happens if we have an odd number of people and we have one person, say he puts up $250, and we have 2 people that put up the remaining $125? Well, when it comes to profits, one person is going to get 50% of the profits, and the other 2 will split the other 50%. That's how that will work. So your reward will be proportioned to your ratio of capital put up. Now, this works for 500, 5,000, or 50,000, and we will have 3 tiers that we will start with. We will start with the 500, and we will start with 500 to 5,000, and yes, a $50,000 tier. So if you guys want to go ahead and start putting in on a $50,000 package, let me know. I will have the offers actually put up in the group. We'll have a chat tab. So if you guys want to go ahead and put into that, you let me know. And we need to have it open so that everyone will know exactly how much is in each tier already, so that they can decide how much they want to contribute to it. Sort of like a money pool. So I'll set that up this evening, and we'll have that up and going immediately for that. And the next thing is we have our crypto trading program. Now, this is our Abra crypto trading, and it is basically one of the most fantastic systems for trading cryptocurrency and making money from the sites that trade in this form of trading. If we make money just from moving money from point A to point B, and we take advantage of the $10 billion crypto industry. If you guys haven't been aware of what's happening this weekend, it's been amazing. Oh my gosh. So we have the system set up basically where everyone who's going to be involved in this, which most of you all already are, but now we can do this on the same level as we're doing with the insurance trading with the group. We come together, same thing. We're going to go at 500, 5,000, 50,000, and once we do that, we will start moving money. And the main thing to remember about this, once we get to our Abra system, once we get into there, we're able to trade into any currency in the world, fiat or crypto. And we're able to break that up, and we're able to do it into so many different ways. We're able to put some here, some there, just by the push of a button. Never in the history of mankind has something like this been available to people. And we are very blessed to live in a wonderful time where technology has really allowed us to do things that just 10 years ago weren't even possible. But here is the kicker. If you look at X coins over here, that is where we end up at. And when we end there, there is 15% profit waiting for us right there every time for nothing else but being there. That is a guaranteed 15% right there. So when you look at average returns right now on T-bills and on fixed asset incomes, we're talking about 3%, 4%. I mean, just ridiculously low. And the financial sector wants you to believe that this is a return on which everything is based on the world. No, that's the return that they want to give you. That's the return. They're trying to fool the masses into believing that a 3% or 4% return on investment is outstanding. If you believe that 4% on your return is outstanding, you are a complete idiot. I mean, complete. Do not fall for the lies. Do not fall for the games that they give you. You must see past that, because here just alone, I can offer you 15% on investment through a website. And this is not something special with me. Well, I mean, I am, but this is not something that's just, that I invent. This is the way that the world actually works. They lie to you with the truth, and they want you to believe those lies, and most people do, unfortunately. But if you're in this group, if you're listening to this message, if you're this far into this video, you are not one of those people. Thank God. So let's move on. And okay, I hate that thing. Okay, and the last thing that we have is our advanced stock trading. Now, guys, if you hadn't noticed, I have a stock that I picked, Cytotherapeutics, and I love this site. I love this stock. I picked it at 28 cents, and it is now currently trading at $2.70. So if you had bought a couple hundred shares of that, you just spent $100 on that. When I picked it, you have around $800-900 right now, is what that trade brought up. And this is not just one. Now I'm not a penny stock person, but yes, I guess I am, because honestly, I do believe in picking stocks under $2 or $3 and buying a nice share of those and letting those stocks ride. Because if you pick a stock that's 50 cents, okay, and you buy, $100 worth of that, well, you're risking $100, okay, but now you have, 200 shares of a stock, and let that stock rise to its true value of $6 or $7 or $8 a share. Well, hey, you do the math on that, okay, and I believe that I would rather invest in a company for a small amount of money and see it rise than put $1,000 down for a share of Apple. I like Apple, but I'm not going to pay that much for a share of Apple. I'm not going to pay $300 for a share of Google. Not off the top. No. When you can go and you can go to a company like Stockpile and get a fractional share of that. So what we do here is we do advanced stock trading, and we do stock options. And that is going to be how we take our profits from our other investments. The two previous trades that I showed you, the insurance and the algo and the crypto trading, what we want to do is we want to go ahead, guys, and we want to pay a percentage, maybe 50, maybe 60, maybe 75% of our profits right back to you guys, to the investors. But we want to take a percentage of that, and we want to invest that percentage of our winnings, of our earnings from our other trades into our advanced stock trading, because we want to look for long-term growth as well as short-term gain. By investing in the stock market on the S&P 500, over the past 20 years, it has increased daily over averaging 20 years. Okay, you have a growth pattern. The stock market has an innate upward bias. Okay, so our stocks market is doing great. The economy is doing great. Hey man, I'm not a big Donald Trump fan, but I gotta call it what it is. So the stock market is doing well under this man, and we are making money. So that's where we're going to leave it at that on him. But it is where we can go ahead and profit from this. So let's do that. So all of these things tie in together by the fact that you can do this individually, or we can do this as a group. So guys, this is a little bit longer than I wanted to, but that's what we're looking at. So $500, $5,000, $50,000. Those three numbers are the numbers that you all need to remember. And I will reach out to each one of y'all individually, and we will decide individual and as a group where we want to go with this. So guys, thank you for your time. Good morning, and let's start the week.